Hello and thanks for joining me. Well, several years ago I built this guided tap wrench and I have used the heck out of it. Anybody that's watched my videos for any length of time has seen me use it several times. Let me show you how it works. So here's how it works. Of course, I've already drilled the hole, but you drill a hole. Put a countersink bit in. Chamfer the hole. Put your guided tap in with a little oil. And it guides the tap straight. You got plenty of leverage. Easy to tap a hole. Problem is this distance here. On this drill press, it's super easy to change the distance between your bit and the work, which is the main advantage to this drill press. I love this drill press. But on the mill, where you got to drop the knee to fit that tap wrench, it becomes a major issue. So we're going to shorten this. I've got an idea on how to do that. So here's what it's going to take to build this new wrench. And what I'm going to do is, this one here, I've got it where you can change the ends to a small one, like that. But what I'm going to do is make a large wrench and a small wrench. The only disadvantage to this tool is I won't be able to remove the tap holder to use in a ratchet, which I seldom do anyway. I usually use it on the drill press or the mill. And what I'm going to do, let me draw a picture of what I'm going to do. Okay, if I just shorten this, I lose travel and you don't gain very much. But if I could utilize this section right there, I gain at least a ½ inch. So what I plan on doing is, there's your tap holder. I plan on making a piece like that that's got a hole through it. It fits down over this. And then I'll put my handles here. Of course, that's out of proportion, but that will give me the needed length by utilizing this, and the whole thing will be about 1.5 inches shorter, at least 1 inch shorter. And then I'll make that a press fit, but I'll also put a couple of pins in it, at least one shear pin, or not shear pin, but roll pin to solidify it. Anyway, first step is to make this piece. Okay, these are about, that one's 806, that one's 804, 804 thousandths. We're going to use 1 1/4 inches. I think that'll be big enough. Okay, I'm going to, starting out with 3/8. This will be the guide hole for the countersink bit. I need to make this fairly deep because I want to get 2 pieces out of this. Okay. This is about 7/8 of an inch. I think I'll make it about 5/8 of an inch. Probably doesn't need to be that deep, but I'll bore that to 3/4 inch and then use a boring bar to enlarge it. Okay, I'm using a 5/8 boring bar. I enlarged a 1/2 inch holder. You can buy oversized holders too. The advantage to this is it's extremely rigid. I got quite a bit of stick out there. I'm not going to bother shortening it. It works fantastic because it's a lot more rigid. Oh boy, just about went too big. I would have preferred that would be a press fit, but that's a perfect fit. See how much depth we got right here. Well, we only got about 1 inch depth there. I've got 7/8 here. Let's see, 1/2 inch. That's going to be hard to figure. There's a 1/2 inch depth here. So from the bottom of this hole, which is 700 in, I want to add 1/2 inch. Yeah, I was getting ready to make that considerably longer. There's 700 thousandths and I want to go a little more than a 1/2 inch. It's 120 thousandths total, should be. Yeah. None of this is all preference, really. It's a trade-off if you make it longer, though. Before we do this, just shine that up a little bit. Okay, my 3/8 bit doesn't actually fit in that 3/8 hole. It does, but it's a tight fit, so I need to go the next size over 3/8 on that hole. A little bit worried about that bit catching on the inside of that hole going from square to round. But there's a bevel on the inside left over from that large bit. So I think that's going to be okay. Okay, right now I'm going to drill for the handle, and I've got my ER16 drill bit holders in there for my tap sizes. And I gotta tell you, they work fantastic. Put my countersink guide in there. I'll be using the old tap wrench, obviously. Okay, I'm going to have to drop my knee quite a bit to get this tap wrench in, and that's what I'm trying to minimize by building this new one. Got some anchor lube here. For taps, I really like it. I'm hoping that tap will be long enough to go all the way through. and at least start tapping the other side so that I can flip it over and not have to worry about alignment when I tap from the other side. Keep everything straight. Some taps are made with a reduced section after the threads. This one is not. So I think I got a tap like that. I'll just replace the tap. Yeah, see, that one's reduced so I can go deeper. Hopefully tap on through to the other side. Great. Outstanding. Okay, I've got some burrs in there from where I drilled for that tap. I'm going to take it over to the arbor press and press that in. When I press that in there, I want to orient the thick side at a right angle to these holes, because I'm going to drill a pin in there, and I want to pin it in a thick portion of the socket holder there, like that. Okay, I've got these threaded holes that I made oriented to the jaws, and it's not critical, more cosmetic than anything. And about 3/8 up, because it's 3/4 inches deep, about. That's my spotting drill. Putting the 5/32 in for a roll pin. I need to make this, I measured the thickness of the wall of this and the thickness of the socket inside, and it is a total of 400 thousandths. Call that 0 right there. There's 200. Ugh. I don't think I'm going to drill into that. Well, new approach. Well, I can't drill into that. It's hardened steel. I think what I'm going to do is take this apart and grind that chrome off and then TIG weld it. I think ideally I should turn off part of that and make that socket just a little bit more shallow so that when I weld I can stay away from these threads. Well, apparently I had this chuck put together wrong. I'm super close to that weld, but I'm okay. I'm closed all the way there. So that's about as compact as we can get. I think on the next one I'll cut that down a little bit. Okay, the final step is to thread the ends for the ball and onto the tool itself. It's going to be short threads. Anchor lube, this stuff right here, works fantastic for threading. We'll see how it does on our die. You know, I can tell right off that it took a lot less torque to thread. That's great. Kind of amazing, actually. Wow, that worked way better than cutting oil. Made better threads and took less torque. Grabbed. Excellent, excellent. I like that a lot better. The difference is about 1 1/8 inches. Maybe 1 1/4 inches. 1 1/4 makes a lot of difference, especially on the mill. I like it. Well, that about wraps it up for today. Thanks for joining me. And check out this product right here. They gave this to me, but I guess you could call that bribery. But I would not tell you it was great if it was not. For tapping. I don't really care for it when doing cutoff on the lathe, but for tapping it's fantastic. Thanks for joining me. Be sure and subscribe and ring that bell.